Meka Waitiri.
Thank you, Mr Chair. And I want to thank the Minister in the seat for responding to my colleague Reno Tirakatani's question. I also had a similar question, but I won't ask the Minister exactly the same one, but it was more around, Mr Chair, I'm referring to section 74A. When I read the I guess under certain circumstances or conditions, the bill extends a period of protection as laid out in the bill, starting at 74. And of course it talks about in clause 74A, subclause 1, part A, that the Director General must, during the protected period, that applies to confidential, take reasonable steps. And I've heard the Minister's assurances that it's in the bill, but we all know that human nature and systems, you know, because we are talking about being competitive, about enabling a very progressive and future-focused food system in this country, I too want to hear from the Minister around the assurances of that particular confidential information is not only protected, but where we say in clause 74A 1A, take reasonable steps to ensure the confidential information is kept confidential, when later in the bill, sir, particularly when I note in 74G in part 4A, those conditions, and I won't repeat them, where the Director General is required to share that information. And I appreciate the Minister talking about, we're talking about a commercial protection here. She given the response around health. I guess I wanted to ensure that in ensuring that the guidance given in the bill around protection of confidential information, but and availing it if we, for example, had a particular outbreak. You know, will the Director General have enough guidance that in times of something, and it's always the extremities, I understand that, sir, and it may be, and let's hope it never happens in this country, but I think people need some assurances that if that ever happened, if we did have a outbreak in our agricultural sector that can be traced back to a particular product, that the Director General will have enough guidance in this bill to release the information for health issues, for example. But I'll leave that there. My other point I wanted to make, particularly, Mr Chair, is around when we look at clauses 74B, 74C, where we start introducing not just, particularly 74B, you're talking about an innovative application for full registration, and I get that, and we talk about the commencement date is 10 years, and then we start seeing in the protected periods for information, a subclause 74C, where we're talking about provisional registration, and I guess the protected period of 5 years. I guess my question, and then when you turn over the page and you look on page 10 of the bill around clause 74D, and then we go into 74E and F, where we're talking about non-innovative applications, both full registration and provisional registration. I guess my point, sir, is there's quite a bit of conditions. They have various periods of protection, and whether in considering this that we feel that the Director General is going to be ably supported, I guess, is the question, to ensure that we're not getting the innovative full registration mixed up with the innovative partial registration and likewise, sir. So when I read this part of the bill and looking through some of the reports from the committee, I didn't get a sense that at all that particular issue that I raise is adequately addressed. And yeah, perhaps the Minister can shed some light on getting clarity between the innovation, non-innovation and the periods, and also the full registration as opposed to the partial registration.